And that is what happens. Anyway, cool kids, are we ready? Eva's ready. Eva, are you ready? Are you ready to show off for the cool kids and do tricks? Because you're the one that gets me all the subscribers. You know that? You're the star of the show. Yeah. A lot of people don't know that.
That's why she's right in the camera.
She knows it's time for a video. Yep. Now, some people I get on here, they're like, well, stop messing with that cat and show us the coins. So I'm going to get right on that. Yeah, stop messing with the cat, show us the coins. That's what I always get from these cats. The few naysayers there are. The few naysayers. Oh, boy. Here we go. Here's some music. All right. You know, we don't just do coins on this channel. I also do miniatures. You know, if you look over here by Eva, right, we got some pretty cool dang miniatures here. Yeah, those are pretty sweet. You know, if you really get in there and look at what we've done here, like that's some pretty sweet miniature work there, okay? We do that. I do tutorials. If you get a chance and you're interested, look back at my channel and I'll teach you how to, you know, I'm not saying I'm the best painter ever, but I do all right. I do all right. Anyway, guess what, guys?
What country are you in today?
Well, we just got done with page 3. I'm glad you asked, actually, yeah. I'm glad you asked. Page 3 is now complete. So now we're going to start page 4. So this is page 1. Bloop, it's done. No more page 1. Page 2, which starts at E, is done. So we got E through I. Oh wait, page 2 is B through D. All right, that's done. And then page 3, we just finished, and that's E through I, the starting of I. There's a lot of I. A lot of J too, a fair bit of J. And we are in J. Our next country is Jordan. To answer your question, Jordan. Now, not to be confused with Michael. Michael is a cool guy, right? Yeah. Like Mike, if I could be like Mike. But this is not that. This is not that Jordan. This is actually a country called Jordan. And there's, you remember the River Jordan they discuss in the Bible? Well, yeah, that's the region. That's the spot. All right, the Kingdom of Jordan. And here we go. The Kingdom of Jordan. Here you go. Check that out. Check that bad boy out. Oh, do you have your... Give us the eye!
I need to get my
All right, I'll
eye.
pause it. All right, cool kids. The Kingdom of Jordan. The proof coin. Look at that.
That's a pretty bird on the back.
It is. That is, yeah, that's a proof coin, guys. That's a proof. So how do we know it's a proof? Well, a lot of the cool kids already know. It's been double struck with a mirror finished planchette to give it a frosty, delicious freaking... Now, did you see the year on that? 3 dinars. 3 dinars. Check out the year on that bad boy. So anyway, Jordan is in the Middle East, and we're going to discuss it. Here, I'll just read the year to you. It's 1977, and that's the Arabic version there. And remember, their calendar's a little different than ours, so theirs would be, you know, like probably 1200 something in 1977 or 1300 something, somewhere around there. Yeah.
Wasn't that the year you were born?
Oh, yeah. Funny you should mention that.
I remember it quite well.
Oh, yes. 1977. Okay, guys, here we go. We're going to talk about some amazing stuff today. So we're going to go over to the computer, and we're going to check out Jordan. And we're going to really explore the Kingdom of Jordan. Not Michael, but the country. All right, first things first, we need to look at that coin. That coin is sterling silver. It weighs 35 grams. It is 1.0409 ASW, which makes it just over an ounce, a little sweeter than an ounce, isn't it? So anyway, you got the Palestine sunbird and a lovely flower. It's milled, and the subject is conservation. The ruler was Hussein, and the mintage was 4,897. And this is I'm glad we brought this up. This is an excellent example of a coin with a higher proof mintage. Well, no, it's not. Never mind. I thought that was a 3. Okay, no. Okay, there were more business strikes, but a lot of times you'll actually have fewer business strikes than proofs, because when people order these coins, they get a choice: proof or business strike. In this instance, it's not. They're very similar mintages, actually, which is it's kind of odd. Odd numbers, odd, but definitely a very rare coin, and it's actually a pretty cool coin. So glad I got it. Let's go to Jordan now that we're doing this. So the official name is exactly as the coin shows, the Hashemite Kingdom of Jordan. Now let's look at the map, really explore and see what we're looking at here. So this is Jordan. Jordan is located in the Middle East, so this is Saudi Arabia, right? You've got the UAE, Yemen, and Qatar, Iraq, Syria, Turkey are all there, Lebanon, Israel, on and on it goes, right? Oman is there. These are the places. And there it is. There's the Kingdom of Jordan right next to Israel, and Lebanon is up here. And of course the Palestinian state, which we did videos on a lot of these countries. All right. Anyway, moving right along. Oh. Okay. And it is a country in the Levant region of West Asia. Jordan is bordered by Saudi Arabia, Iraq, Syria, Palestine, West Bank, Israel. We just talked about all that. The Jordan River flows into the Dead Sea, and that's the country's western border. The coastline along the Red Sea in its southwest, so that actually makes it pretty strategic location. Red Sea met, and then boop, right? All right. Anyway, modern-day Jordan has been inhabited by humans since the Paleolithic period. 3 kingdoms emerged in Transjordan in the Bronze Age, and they're Ammon, Moab, and Edom. Anyway, Arab, Nabateans, and on it goes. The kingdom of Petra. Petra is the capital, and I remember Petra. This is actually talked about quite a bit when you talk about the ancient world. There was actually a culture and people there. They're extinct now, but they actually dealt with the Greeks and Egyptians and Assyrians and all these different peoples, and Rome, of course, eventually came through, and the culture's extinct now. The language is dead, but because Islam came through, and that was the end of a lot of cultures. And anyway, well, you could argue it's kind of like Christianity. Christianity took a lot of pagan beliefs, and the difference between Islam and Christianity, again, I'm not saying I'm an expert, is Islam has a very limited scope of adding and incorporating other ideologies, because Muhammad, the prophet, tended to micromanage. So he tended to make a lot of rules for folks that, other religions are a little more open to interpretation, is what I'll say. Yeah. Not to try to, talk down about anybody's religion. I'm really not. It's just, these are just subtle differences in beliefs and the way, they can manifest. Now, I did take a class in college on the topic, so I kind of know a little bit. I'm not completely just shooting in the dark here. There's a lot of history in this region. Whole lot of cultural significance. This whole region is kind of the birthplace of Western civilization in a sense, even though it's Eastern. But these areas were owned by Western empires for a very long time, and they influenced those areas. So to pretend that these areas didn't influence it would be somewhat. Oh, here we go. We're even getting into it here. This is so Alexander the Great. Once his empire split and the Ptolemy deal started, there was a whole story about how the Greeks tried to take over Petra and they couldn't do it. And the Romans tried to take over Petra and they couldn't do it because it's just such a sparse vegetation. Everything's up in the mountains, and the camel riding folks had home field advantage. So it took a while for Rome to finally take Petra down. Oh, we're talking about the ancient history of Jordan.
Well, you do know that is where the goblet.
Oh, yeah. I knew that. I did know that.
Indiana Jones?
Indiana Jones in The Last Crusade. Yes, this was used. You're not wrong. Yep. Yep. Very cool. Very neat. Actually, no. You know what? No. That is similar. That was actually, I'm almost sure that was a different site. Let me check.
But
Let's
they
check.
look so similar.
They're similar. No, this is done the same way, but
and they're built into the side of the mountain.
yeah. That was a different site. I believe that was built by the. I could be wrong though. Let's check. It might be, but I knew it's very similar the way they built it. Oh, yeah, we're gonna learn something, guys. Okay, in The Last Crusade, location
Where the Grail was.
of Grail scene. Let's try that. All right, yeah, it was Petra. You're right. Yep, it was Petra. Yep. So she's exactly right, Petra. So
I hate being right.
Oh
son.
no. I knew it was. If it wasn't Petra, it was something very similar. But it was the same kind of deal. This was all carved in. This isn't. This is actually carved into the stone. That's the mountain that's been carved into. So that's really cool. That's not typically how these things are done. And it's really stood the test of time. So anyway, it's a very famous site. It's very remote and hard to get to, though, from what I recall.
And it has its own source of water.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. They stayed up there. I actually.
They could defend it so well.
Well, that's what they did. They just outlasted the Ptolemies. They outlasted the Romans. They tricked the Romans. I remember. I actually watched a big documentary on Petra a few years ago. Anyway, that's ancient history. We're talking about the current iteration. So let's get to the economics of that because we're making this a long video. All right. Well, let me pause this while. Anyway, the British ran the show until 1946. Treaty of London. Transjordan was raised to the status of kingdom under the name Hashemite Kingdom of Jordan in Arabic. with Abdullah as its first king, although it continued to be referred to as the Hashemite Kingdom of Transjordan until 1949. They have an Independence Day. Yep. Climate. The climate of Jordan varies greatly. The further inland from the Mediterranean you get, the less rainfall there is, the higher the elevation, yada yada. Politics and government, they have a unitary state, constitutional monarchy. These guys. There you go. Lots of guys. Largest city is Amman. Amman has a population of 1,812,000, so a pretty good sized town. And on and on. Here's the regions. Now to the economics. Jordan is classified by the World Bank as a lower middle income country. Apparently 15.7% of the population lives below the poverty line, while almost a third fell below the national poverty line during the sometime of the year. What the hell? So transient poverty. Okay, so it changes. Economy, which has a GDP of $39.453 billion, which is, there are few people with that much money. GDP rose 351% in the 70s, declined in the 80s, and then rose again in the 90s. Per capita income is $9.4K. Jordanian economy is one of the smallest economies in the region, and country's populace suffers from a relatively high rate of unemployment and poverty. Jordan's economy is relatively well diversified. Trade and finance combined to account for 1/3 of it. And communication, public utilities, construction, and mining are another 5th. Net official development assistance in Jordan in 2009 totaled $761 million, according to the government. Approximately 2/3 of this was allocated to its grants, which half was direct budget support. The official currency is the dinar, which is pegged to IMF special draw rights, equivalent to an exchange rate of $1.70. So it's higher than a dollar. 0.7 dinar. A dollar is 0.7 dinars. So a dinar is $1.41. In 2000, Jordan joined the World Trade Organization, signed the Jordan-United States Free Trade Agreement, thus becoming the first Arab country to establish a trade agreement with the United States. Jordan enjoys advanced status with the EU, which has facilitated greater access to export to European markets. And Jordan's total foreign debt was $19 billion. Let's see if they got that chart. So it looks to me like I'm not seeing a lot about oil. I feel like we should be seeing something about oil, but I guess not. And that might explain why it's poorer than the other countries in the region. All right. Anyway, guys, that's great. Have an amazing day. Let's get back to the coin. That's what this is all about, right, guys? We like the coins, right? So I only have one coin from Jordan because silver coins ain't necessarily their game. I bet there's some that were put out during the British time of rule, but none of that stuff's cheap, guys. The Middle Eastern stuff is not cheap generally. It's not easy to come by. Some things are easier than others. Ottoman stuff's pretty common. Egyptian stuff is fairly common. I know Syrian stuff's not super rare, but some of these countries are really hard to get coins from. So just be careful when you're doing your silver coins around the world collection. The Middle East is going to be somewhat rough, not as bad as like the stands. So the stands are rough, and Africa's rough just in general. All right, guys, have an amazing day. Thanks for watching. I hope you find all the collectibles of your dreams while you're awake, and like, share, and subscribe. Bye.